Hey, Ricky.
Hey, what were you doing?
Oh, I was trying to think of, tonight we got the whole Nick Fury thing going on, which I'm excited about. And I
Yeah,
thought I was going to make a patch, like a pirate patch, like, he
yeah,
has. And,
yeah.
I was going to make a second one and put both of them on because, it would make me twice as cool as Samuel L. Jackson. So, but I couldn't do that. I didn't find it. So I couldn't make one. I wasn't as, not that gifted in that area. So what I thought I might do, I kind of played around with something, and I thought I might show it everybody. I think this is it. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
see, I'm wearing it.
no,
Oh, we just lost somebody. I
no,
will. Yeah, it's a patch on there. I figured,
no.
yeah, we lost somebody. We had two, and then
I'm
someone went
not
away. But
surprised.
oh
After that,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah, there
surprised.
you go. There you go. In case number three.
Stop.
Okay, but that was, I couldn't find another picture of me, so I grabbed that
You
one to
couldn't
put the
find
eye. No, I
another.
mean,
You couldn't.
no,
You couldn't take 2 seconds to take a
I couldn't.
selfie.
No, that was just, it was just easier that way. I had it in Photoshop. I put the patch on, and so I just thought that's, yeah. I mean, I could have done that. I could have done exactly like that in person. Hey, whoa! I don't know why. I
Todd,
don't know
that
why,
is my
Todd.
exact question every week when I get
That
on
was
this
our
show.
Florida man correspondent. I guess we should start the show because I
let's
already did.
let's
Yeah.
start the show. You've already
Okay.
lost one person.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's the Something About Something podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend, Mr. Ricky Poe. I was a little too loud. Hi, how you
No, I
doing?
thought it sounded
It's
fine.
okay. So, man, this is going to be a good show.
It is.
We're going to talk about Nick Fury, especially Samuel L. Jackson, the new Disney Plus that's coming in. I'm excited about that.
Samuel L. Jackson, the man.
We're going to do a little bit of history on the man, actually the comic character, Nick Fury, and we're going to do a little background on that. And also, we're going to get into how this might affect the MCU universe and all that's going to go along with that. And spoiler alert,
Stuff.
I got a couple. Now we got some. I'm going to mention some spoiler alerts tonight. If you have not seen the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, you're going to have spoilers. If you had not seen the end of Agent of Shield, then there's going to be a spoiler there. So just be prepared. There's going to be spoilers. So
here's your spoiler alert.
Here you go.
That's your spoiler alert.
Then we lost two people because I guess they didn't want the spoiler.
I guess not.
Or maybe it just delayed long enough where they saw my photograph. So, yeah. So anyway.
You have officially driven people away.
Yeah, that's
from
not
our
what
show.
I want to do. So,
oh my goodness.
Yes. Hey, everybody on, just comment. Let us know where you're coming from, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, and the Twitch. Give us a shout out so we know you're out there and these are not bots.
The Twitch.
The Twitch.
The Twitch.
Yes, that's going to be our Halloween dance right there. So, yeah, it's going to be a really, really big show. So,
really big shoe. This is what I get for not looking at the images before the show starts.
I try to mix it up in there so you wouldn't see it, kind of a needle in a haystack kind of thing.
You hit it in there.
Wanted to throw it in there at the last minute.
Oh my
Had you
goodness.
preoccupied with other things. So
are we going to discuss why he's black now?
Yes, actually, we're going to do that. Yes. Yes, we are.
Are we going to discuss? Oh, hold on a second.
I'm scrubbing your eyes out of my Brillo pad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a necessity right there. Are we going to discuss the Hoff?
Oh, definitely. Your favorite Nick Fury. Yes, that's right.
Gosh,
we're going to discuss that tonight. Yes.
So many things. So many things. So much bad.
It's
It's so good and it's so bad all at the
I know
same time.
I know it.
There's
Yes.
just nothing else to say. I don't even know what else to say about it.
I think what we'll do, let's kick it off with some stupid news. We'll go there, and then we'll get into the Hoffman. I mean, we'll get into the Fury man, Nick Fury. So
Yep.
let's try that here.
Hey, Mike, will you check
yeah.
something real quick?
Yeah, I'll check something.
Will you check your audio and make sure the echo is unchecked again?
Well, let me check that.
Just one time.
Let me just check that. Checking. Let's see here.
Is it unchecked?
Oh, they had it on.
It was checked. I thought
Yeah.
so.
Wow.
You were sounding just a little odd to my ears.
More than usual. Okay.
Okay, well.
All right. Yeah, we love you too. Someone just gave us a love. We love you.
Hey, thanks, Jason.
We love the love.
Jason,
So,
if you hover over that little heart, it'll tell you who sent it.
Oh, does it?
Thank you, Jason Hamilton. We love you too.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. So anyway, so yeah, is
So
it
what
better
do we have
now?
first? Yeah,
Let's just do, let's just do some stupid news. Let's get right into it.
Let's do some stupid news.
All right.
It's the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Well, I was going to say tonight I'm not going to pick on Florida, but my first article is from Florida. Shout out to Todd. Yes. Todd Vesey, our Florida correspondent, man down by the boot of America. And or is that the kickstand of America? I can never remember what that is. But yes, we're going to talk about Justin Anthony Garcia. He is 30 and is charged with aggravated battery, according to the Lee County Sheriff's Department. Yeah. I mean, battery. No, not just tickle me Elmo. He's aggravated. Yes. And apparently in the Facebook post, actually the police authorities wrote that Garcia cried over spilled milk because the victim wouldn't agree that his choice of milk was better than the other.
Because his choice of milk. Wait.
Yeah.
Milk is milk. There's milk.
There's one. Apparently, there's one superior.
Out of cows.
Yes.
It's milk.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question: when you think of what's more superior in milk, would you pick whole milk or almond milk? As far as your preference.
I'm going to pick milk because. Have you ever squeezed an almond?
Yeah, they have little teats. You can squeeze a bunch of. Yeah, you gotta get tweezers, and you gotta have a microphone. You got a microscope, and you gotta do it really fast because the friction will cause the juice to come out. That's for a different show at night. So anyway. So yeah, I have a show at night that I call.
I don't want to know. I'm sure that photo comes up a lot.
It's called Milk My Nuts, and what I do, it's you milk that sucker. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go away now.
Drink milk. So I'm gonna ask the podcast wife, what do you prefer? Do you like almond milk or whole milk? She says almond milk. So the deal is this, the two of you, you're going to have if it's anything like this news report, the two of you are going to slug it out. And
as far as I'm concerned, if it doesn't come out of a cow, it's not milk.
Yes, I don't know. You hadn't seen my show late at night. So anyhow, apparently what has happened, a criminal complaint states that a deputy responded shortly after 2 p.m. Sunday to a home in Lehigh Acres, where Garcia and his cousin were arguing over which is better, whole milk or almond milk. The verbal argument became physical when Garcia became enraged at the victim for disagreeing with him. The complaint that was stated by the news, Garcia proceeded to punch the victim with a closed fist to the victim's left side of his forehead. Garcia's cousin tried to punch back, but missed his face and landed his blow instead to Garcia's shoulder. Then Garcia pulled out a pocket knife.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Yes. The victim became scared of what Garcia might do with the knife and proceeded to run away from Garcia as Garcia chased the victim through the front yard.
Oh my gosh.
This gets better. Garcia caught up with the victim, struck him with the knife, causing a small cut to the man's torso. An uncle intervened at that point, grabbing Garcia and separating the men until deputies got there. Apparently, the witness was working on the victim's vehicle in the driveway when he heard Garcia and the victim arguing over almond milk. It is not clear for the record which side of the issue Garcia was arguing for, so it's hard to know if he was for almond milk or if he was for whole milk. But that's a little bit that's going on in Florida. I just give it up. And
is that almond with cashews?
Yes.
Almond milk with cashews.
Yeah, you got more nuts for the money. It's really a good deal. So, let's get on to the second news. A man
Please.
Yes, a man in Pennsylvania decided to rob a family-run pizza restaurant while he was applying for a job. Apparently,
I'm pretty sure you're not getting hired after that.
Well, Mark had filled out his job application with his personal information on it, including his name, his address.
Wait, wait. He didn't lie on the application?
No, he didn't. No. At first, he was intending to get a job. And so he filled out the information. And then during it, he apparently had a change of heart after filling out the job information. And then he decided to make off with the restaurant tip jar. Now, according to the Morning Call News, Nicholas Mark ran out of the pizzeria with the tip jar that contained about $220, along with a filled out job application. He also left behind a bag that had multiple items with his name on them. The bag also had syringe and other drug razors and drug-related items. The staff of the restaurant were able to share his contact information with the police. And guess
Imagine
what?
That.
The police picked him up at the address. So thank you, Mark, for making it easy for our law enforcement to reach out and touch someone. So,
oh my goodness.
And
yes, when you think criminals just can't get any dumber.
Well, we have a second segment of stupid news, but we like to call it what, Ricky? Let's hit it.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't up there.
Hit it. Wow. Almost went in a trance, like in High Society with Mel Brooks, where he turns around and around and around and around.
Sorry, you said to hit it, and I was like, wait, hit what? Oh, we have a new video.
We have a new video.
I forgot.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine.
Completely forgot we had new video.
Now, this is going to be really interesting. You know, we try to find the most, Elon Musk, Albert Einstein, just some of the Rocket Man, just
May
some
he
of
rest
the
in peace.
Yes, just the biggies of science we pull in. And in this study, you'll be surprised, but there's surprising uses for pee and poop.
Really?
No, yeah.
Surprising uses for pee and poop.
Yeah, I said when most animal bodies, they process nutrients and they expel waste from liquids, and pee and poo have a wide range of applications, and we're going to go into it and just help the diverse ecosystem with your pee and poop. So basically, a yellowish gray rock on the beach in the UK was greasy and it smelled trouble, and apparently it was originated from guts of sperm whale. Apparently it can use for lamps with a sizable chunk of the fatties from the whale, digestive tracts, and whales poo out, out the, I forget the name of it. It's a highly prized poo by humans. So it's expensive poo. So keep that in mind. If you ever want,
vaguely have heard about this.
Yes. The lump found on the beach was at least about $68,000 and possibly as much as $180,000 for whale poop. So Todd, get out there on your dinghy and get you some whale poop out there.
Todd, also, you need to go whale pooping.
Yes. I don't mean you in the bathroom. I'm talking about go out and get the
Oh my goodness, that's so ridiculous. Hey Mike, have I lost you?
Hi, Mike. Hello.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry, I had to use the bathroom. I don't know what that was.
I'm not sure.
That must be my connection. Apparently, I hadn't paid the cable bill, so I better get through this pretty fast. But anyway, you can use it for dye. You can use it also for actually research in Japan recently bought some, basically it's transforming, it's actually human feces that they put into steaks.
So that's what?
In steaks. Yeah.
Steaks. So I'm gonna
eat
whale poop.
Yeah, at request of Tokyo Sewage, scientists investigated particles uses for excess sewage and discovered that they could isolate the protein from bacteria in human race, combined it with carbohydrates, fats. The results could be served like a meat-like substance. Now that's the impossible meat, right?
Substance.
Yeah, that's the impossible meat right there, my friend.
No.
You put that in a bean burrito, a little bit of cheese on, a little bit of nachos on there, you're good to go.
That is ridiculous.
Yes. Also building blocks. You can make cement out of it, of course. You know, you can make pooperoni. They actually make pooperoni where they actually put it in like one of those, intestines, and they hang them. Yeah, so you can get some of that. Apparently, chock's full of like baby poop especially. They have a lot of microfibers in it, scopics, whatever. It apparently says it tastes very good. Robot fuel is one of them.
Robot fuel.
Yes, basically that is one. Apparently they're working on a worm tower. For worms, a tower for them. So
what's a tower for worms?
Yeah, it's kind of the giant soul mounds in the grasslands of Colombia and Venezuela. They basically use them and they put them in there, and I guess they generate all these nutrients and stuff like that. Yeah, so. Yeah, I kind of got ahead of some things there, but that's okay because I see, this is flushing quickly. And then also too, yes, and also poop biotics. Now that's an interesting thing. Yeah. They said it could be a path towards health. I only went on tonight. I don't know why I'm losing connection. All I know, someone's gonna get yelled at in the morning. Oh my goodness. Okay.
What in the world is going on?
I don't know. Can't like any comments. Well, is it something to do with me or something to do with StreamYard?
I was gonna say if he can't like a comment, that's a Facebook problem.
Oh, Facebook. Well, I think we're just end this segment because before I black out again. So we won't play the outro. We'll just get into some.
Do you want to hop it out and hop back in the show and see if that fixes it?
Well, I can do that.
Give it a try.
Well, I'll give it a try.
Why don't you and Tiffany both hop out and hop back in?
Okay, we'll do that here.
Okay. Well, as we have some technical difficulties, please hold. One moment, please. That's what I used to have to always say for my when I worked at the call center was 1 moment, please. Don't forget, we are going to be talking about quality camera is bad. I know, Jason. I know his camera quality is bad. Some kind of technical difficulty. I think we're having an internet problem. Let me know. Is it just Mike's side or is it both sides? Is mine having issues too? Mike's hopping back in right now. Let's see. Hey, Mike. You look much better now.
Do I? Okay.
You look much more cohesive.
Cohesive?
Yes.
Is the quality better now?
Yes, much.
Okay, good. Wow,
So,
this is
not
nuts.
sure what's going on. maybe you reset your router sometime.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
right now, but sometime.
yeah. I don't think right now would be a good idea. So
Well, shall we get to the meat of the show?
we should do that. Should do that. Now I'm having comments. Are we? How's my video now, Jason and Todd on
Yeah, I
the
think comments are a little bit behind.
behind? Well, that might be the whole deal with what's happening. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's go ahead and get to it because while I'm still here, let's do that.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Fury.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is really interesting to me because, man, what a transformation he takes. And like
Tell me about it.
yeah, well, like most superheroes, it's funny because they, you know, a lot of them come up and during the golden age of comics, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and during World War II. Well, this is different. This is kind of where the creation came up in basically by Stanley and Jack Kirby, and
Yep.
it was in 1963,
mid-sixties, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
1963.
early 60s.
So, and basically, it's all about Sergeant Fury and, of course, the Howling Commandos.
Yes.
And yes, and so on the next one, it basically refers to if you remember seeing Captain America.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the. I think I have the group photo of them on there, if I'm not mistaken.
Here? Yes.
Yeah, and so basically,
Yep.
this is
That's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, exactly.
Version of the Howling Commandos.
Yes.
But we don't have a Nick Fury there.
Yeah, we don't have a Nick Fury, and I don't even think Bucky was part of that in the
No.
original, so he wasn't in that. So, but anyway, I just wanted to see the correlation there. But yeah, it was
In the
interesting.
comics, he fought along with Captain America and Bucky in World War II, right?
Well, they say they had to they kind of recant it because they wanted to make sure that he was still, because you know a lot of the Marvel, you know, characters. They were in World War II as far as the timing
Right.
and everything. So
Yes.
with Rick Fury, they wanted to make sure there was continuity with the past and the future.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
We have characters that fought in World War II
yeah, exactly.
in comics that were written in 1960,
Yes, exactly.
but then they stick around for comics that are set in the 80s and 90s,
Exactly.
written in the 80s and 90s.
Exactly.
Yeah. These characters just don't age.
Now, it's interesting here. He was born and raised in the area of New York City, but where? Hell's Kitchen. See the connection
so
there?
It's a Daredevil
Yeah,
area.
during the
Daredevil,
Defenders. Yeah,
Defenders, Kingpin, and all that.
yeah. So
Interesting.
Yeah. So his name is Nicholas Joseph, and his Nick, of course, is Nick. And he was 20 years old when he got into the Army. And of course, the Special Elite Force was, you know, Dum Dum Dugan and some of the other ones. Now, in that one right there was the issue where he lost his eye. And it says he lost the eye by grenade or I think a landmine. It had two different versions of the story. But I
A
will.
little different than the cinematic universe. getting
Yeah,
scratched
so-
by an alien cat.
Yes, I was going to.
Spoiler
Spoiler
there,
alert.
If you haven't seen Captain Marvel
Yes,
yet.
Yeah, cat scratch fever did not happen to Nick Fury, not this one, not the original one. So, but yeah, anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's amazing to me let's see here. Yeah, what's interesting on the next one. Now, I don't know. You remember Sergeant Rock?
I do vaguely remember Sergeant Rock, but I never read it. Of course, I never actually read either of these books.
Well-
I was not a war comics fan.
Yeah.
So I knew Nick Fury as agent of Shield and, you know, guy who shows up and tries to get the Avengers to do stuff. Did I lose you again, Mike? I think I lost you again. Hey, I think I lost you.
I'm back again.
I don't know if you heard what I said. Have you tried turning?
Back off on again. What a great time this is.
We
Yeah.
have tried. Well, we tried with
Yeah.
Mike's end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I was saying was, I'm not a huge war comics fan.
Yeah.
So I never actually read the old Sergeant Fury
Yeah.
or the Sergeant Rock.
Yeah.
I know Fury from like 80s
Yeah.
comics when he was Agent of Shield in his kind of blue black suit with the white trim, and he was always trying to get the Avengers to do something or getting
Yeah.
involved in somebody else's business.
Well, Jack Kirby actually branched off and did that for DC. So that's a
So
correlation there. So Stan Lee and Jack Kirby did Sergeant Fury, and then later in the '60s, Jack Kirby made the Sergeant Rock series. So
nice.
there was kind of a correlation there between the two. I thought was interesting. So,
Well,
but
looks like
Sergeant
Sergeant
Rock,
Rock was around for a long time and got up to at least 400 issues there.
yeah, I think all the way up to the late '80s, if not
Wow.
early '90s. So yeah, so that was a long
Crazy.
war.
A long war.
That was longer than MASH, but
Exactly.
Korean War. So yeah. So anyway, yeah.
So what else
So
do we have?
let's see what we've got here. Yeah, this is where he ended up after the war. He was, I guess, he ended up going to OSS, which was the World War II kind of the espionage agency, then the CIA, and this is him, kind of like the spy. So this is during the later '60s where he ended up playing in a spy. Yeah, Doctor Strange was the first edition there. So
And now we have this Agent of Shield.
basically, yeah, with his eye patch.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history with Nick Fury in the Marvel comics. He's just kind of been weaved. When we think of him in the cinematic universe, he's kind of been weaved in and out of the cinematic universe.
Yeah,
He's
he
in all
has.
these different movies. That's exactly what he has been in the Marvel Comics universe as well.
Yeah, there is just so many things from Infinity Serum to the. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but in the correlation between senior and junior, that's interesting. They addressed that
Yeah.
in the what's the name of it? They addressed that in which story arc was the.
I remember reading about it, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think the story. Yeah, it's not Barrage. Anyway, I'll get to it here in a minute. But
I was gonna say when. What else do we have here? We've got.
this is actually Nick Fury. Actually, he was also with the Fantastic Four family. He also worked with them as well. I don't know much. Have you remember
worked
that?
with a lot of different people.
Yeah, there was one, and this is the one that most people remember from the Silver Age.
Yeah, this is the outfit that I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, there's one where do you remember the one where he elicits the help from Peter Parker's parents? They were spies, and he sent them out, and they were killed.
I vaguely remember hearing about this, but I never read those comics.
Yeah, like I said, it's not part of the MCU canon, but
No,
it's pretty interesting
but
that.
it's part of the. Is it the 616 universe? This is where
Yes,
things get
this is where it
little
gets
weird.
complicated. Yeah, this is where it gets
when we
weird.
start talking about universes. Someday we need to do a show all about Marvel universes and DC universes.
Oh, I know. I know.
Because they're a little complicated. So, in case we're talking about something, just so everybody's on the same page, the comics Marvel universe is 616. The cinematic universe they're calling 1999-99, which I think is a reference to one of the movies, like maybe the reference to the first movie that came out that was considered cinematic universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Did the Hulk come out in 1999? Because
I don't.
one of the Hulk movies is considered canon.
Oh yeah, the first one with Edward
I thought it was
Norton
the
was in it.
second one. I think it was the second one they considered
Yeah, it's the
canon.
second one, not the first one. It was
But
the second
most
one they
people
did.
consider Iron Man to be the beginning of the cinematic universe, but technically the Hulk was. But no, I don't think it was 19. I don't think it was that old. So I don't know why they used 1999, 99. But and then there's another universe called the Ultimates universe,
Yeah.
and I think we'll get to that here in a little bit.
Okay.
I don't remember what universe number that one is. I just always called it Ultimate.
Yeah, I think and finally, I think after that comic book, Shield really came alive in the comic book series.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah. So after that, he
Hey,
beca-
Kyle Roberts, what are you up to, man?
yes, thank you, sir. Yes, it was Edward Norton was the second and was in the
Yeah,
MCU. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, 2001, not 2001, 2008. Okay. That sounded about right to me. Yeah.
Maybe I don't have the numbers in front of me.
I'll just take it. So anyway,
But then,
yeah.
but then at that point we have Nick Fury, Agent of Shield, and he becomes kind of a mainstay of the comics.
It's almost like in the movies, he comes and goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one where they actually fought Godzilla?
Is this Godzilla or is this
Yes.
Foom Fang Fu or whoever it is?
Well, I say he led the fight against Godzilla. So
Oh,
only,
it's a Godzilla. Okay.
yeah. So it was like 24 issue it ran
I
for. So
I never read this, but I always thought it was funny. Technically, Godzilla is canon for the Marvel comic book universe,
are you
616.
serious?
Yes, Godzilla is canon for 616.
That is interesting. I was going to pop this one in, add to this one here. This is the one I was talking about. Apparently, this is where he
Oh, yeah.
recruited Spider-Man's parents, and they didn't. You know, of course, this was recanted later on. Of course, the story.
Yeah.
But anyway, they end up dying in the situation, and I think Peter Parker has some issues with that. But anyway,
You
that's
think?
yeah. So
See what else we have.
this
This
was
is
with the
probably mid 90s or
yeah. This is
early
one.
2000s.
Yeah, I think that had to do with the Punisher, if I'm not mistaken. There was one where he had to go and capture the Punisher.
Very probable.
Yeah.
And then we have Secret Invasion.
Yes. I didn't know much about Secret Invasion. Did you?
Yeah. Well, Secret Invasion is kind of rumored to be what's the next. It's possible it's the next
Yes.
big Marvel Cinematic Universe thing.
Yeah, that's we're talking about the
and
Kree. Yeah.
Yeah, Kree Skrull War, and we're already hinting at it in that. Spoiler alert: Nick Fury at the end of one of the was it the Far From Home movie?
Yes.
Where Nick Fury, you find out he isn't Nick Fury. He and Mara are both Skrulls. And they've been Skrulls for some time, and Nick Fury is
Yeah.
out in space somewhere.
And we have some photos on that later, so that would be
Yep.
interesting. Yeah. And of course, when you look on the ship around him, and that's where I took a couple of shots, the Skrull was on the ship. So it's almost like the entire ship is manned by the Skrull.
Yep.
And it looks like they're allies. Where
Yeah,
in the
which
past, they
is
weren't
gonna make it-
allies.
Exactly, which is
In the
gonna make
past, yeah.
the Secret Wars is gonna if they go with this,
Yeah.
which I'm not sold that they're gonna do Secret Wars. Matt Price and I covered Secret Invasion. Oh yeah, that was a while back. Yeah, Secret Invasion. If they go with it, it's
Yeah.
going to be completely rewritten because
Oh, yeah, it's
they've
not-
already reversed the roles. You know, instead of because generally in the Marvel comics,
Yeah.
the Kree have been the good guys, the Skrulls have been the bad guys. The Skrulls come in and take over a bunch of people's bodies, and it's not a good thing.
No, it's not. No.
But they're alluding to it is a good thing right now in the cinematic universe. So it's definitely flipped on its head.
And I think sometimes they do that, you know. It's interesting to me. So
Well, and if we want to jump to that, I mean,
that's fine with
Marvel
me.
has kind of flipped on its head
Yeah.
in that we have, you know, Nick Fury didn't just change his looks; he changed his color. And oh, Mike, I think I lost you again. Oh my goodness. We're having so many technical difficulties tonight. So strange. We usually don't. Oh, hey, you're back.
I'm back. I'm back.
I don't know what's going on.
It has to be my something right. But yeah, it was interesting. Like you were saying, here, this goes back to that story arc in that that one comic book that I was trying to bring up. Apparently,
Oh, you were talking about Nick Fury Jr.
yes,
and there's
and
really
that's-
something else too
yeah,
that gets confusing. Is in the Ultimates series, Nick Fury is black,
yes,
but he has been and always has been, and I believe the story goes is they actually designed him after Samuel L. Jackson
yes, they did.
in the Ultimates, but he hadn't been hired yet for the cinematic universe.
And actually, the story goes that he saw it in a bookstore. And he said, that looks like me, and I hadn't given anybody any permission. And the way the story goes, he contacts them. He said, we created this, for the future plan. And basically, they told him that they wanted to call him back a year from now and talk about the new Iron Man. So, or no, actually, I guess it was the Hulk.
Oh, okay.
Because that's when he showed up. That was the first film
Yeah.
he showed up in the, so...
Yeah,
So anyway, I guess they got away with it.
Yeah, they got away with it. But so he was a black version similar to Samuel L. Jackson in the Ultimates universe, but he wasn't yet black in the 616 comics universe.
No.
So that's where this Nick Fury Jr. comes in. So you got a little backstory on that?
I do. I'm trying to see where, before I get cut out again, let's see here. I have it right here. I was trying to.
That would be cool, Kyle.
What's that?
Oh, Kyle was asking what character we're waiting to see in the MCU.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I'm excited to see some X-Men. I think it'll happen.
Well, it's
But-
going to have to eventually, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was in Siege. No,
Siege.
Battle
Battle-
Scars.
Battle
It was in
Scars.
Battle
Okay.
Scars.
Yes.
Yes, and this is where, let's see, go back a little bit, just a little bit. Now, sorry, this was the Nick Fury that actually they had for a while, and before they went Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
this was the guy they had for a while. But this was a comic book right here that they, Battle Scars, when it came
Right.
out,
and
and yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, you're right. I mean, and so it bridges the Nick Fury Senior and Junior together.
Right.
Apparently, the backstory is he. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, and if I understand right, he didn't know he was Nick Fury's son.
No, he did not. Actually, he went by his last name was Johnson,
Yeah.
and so yeah.
And do you recall what did it say? How did he find out he was Nick Fury's son?
Well, Nick Fury apparently in the past he had an affair with a woman. She was pregnant, and then from my understanding from the story goes that she chose to keep the child, and in the relationship forcing her to go into hiding for her own safety. Marcus Johnson is the guy who is
Right.
the child or the grown man now, later became a ranger. So apparently upon reappearance of Orion, which is the villain in that, Fury meets his now adult son and basically tells him that, hey, I'm your father. Basically, yeah.
It's a Luke, I'm your father story.
Yeah, so that's how he finds out, and somehow the pair are captured by Orion, who managed to extract this is another one, Infinity Formula from Fury.
Oh,
That's
okay,
a whole
that's
different
not quite there.
situation, and not quite there. So anyway, but his dad gets captured. I'm so confused. The original one gets captured. He comes back to help him anyway. But in this canon, he didn't get scratched by a cat to lose his eye. Basically, his eye was slashed. I guess Orin gave the order to have his eyes taken out to resemble his father in some kind of a joke or in some kind of way he was doing that. So I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah. I like to read the comics of that and see a little more details about it, but do you know anything more about that?
That's you have said all the story I know about there. So do we want to start talking about some live action Nick Fury?
Oh yes, please.
We
This
have
is-
we have to go there.
Yeah, this is one of Ricky. He has this is one of his favorite actors. He has
No.
played Nick Fury.
No, it's not.
This is one that he's taken to
so
heart.
wrong. You're
And,
so wrong.
And so we just want to. Yes, that's right. That's
The
right.
first instance of Nick Fury,
Hoffman.
the Hoff,
Hoffman. Yes.
is David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I wonder how that went.
From
Oh,
one
I
of
haven't-
the writers of Batman Begins. Really?
Oh,
One
that
of the
didn't work out.
Bad writers. One of the writers they fired? What is that? Really?
Well, apparently, let's see, Rotten
Let's see,
Tomatoes.
when was that? That was the 90s?
It said it was released in 2008, the DVD that went from right to. Yeah, so,
Really? It was 2008?
1998.
No.
It aired on Fox on 1998.
Oh, okay, 1998.
And then it went to like DVD in 2008. So yeah, it took that long for them to put it out on DVD. So that's
how bad it was.
how bad it was.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, apparently
Can you
it-
imagine if we had really started a cinematic universe back then?
That would have been
would
terrible.
David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury.
We would
right
have some
now.
of the worst costume superheroes ever, like the original Captain America. Remember that, where he had the floppy ears,
Yes.
you know, and the bogus motorcycle with whatever he has the shield on there.
Oh, my
Rotten
goodness.
Tomatoes actually gave it a 16%. So
16%. It got that high, huh?
yeah, it got that high. So I thought that was pretty good on that.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
so Hell Hydra on that. Yeah, and the film had $6 million production budget.
Oh, imagine. They
Yeah,
really had
so-
that much?
Yeah, exactly. I can't.
So bad.
Yeah, so that's pretty bad. But then we finally redeem ourselves with Samuel L. Jackson, who also starred in a couple of times Agent of I like this one. This is where he came on for the first time, and he was getting mad at Coulson. He said, "You better take care of my ship." And
Yes.
and this was, I guess, this is the second time he came back, and I think this is when S.H.I.E.L.D. was falling apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one I remember on that. So that's a little bit of much as the TV, unless you get into the animated stuff, which
Yeah, which
I-
there's
yeah.
there's like 3 or 4 voice actors who have been Nick Fury in the animated series.
yeah,
Different
Yeah.
animated versions of Nick Fury. So lots of people have been Nick Fury, unfortunately.
well, they did in the comic universe. They actually ended up doing what they call a rebirth of Marvel, and I
Yeah.
think that's when they Samuel L. Jackson's character was actually in the comics.
Yeah, they actually it's a little bit like the DC universe thing. They had the New 52 got launched because of Flashpoint.
Yeah,
They kind of had a Earth collision thing with the 616 universe and the Ultimates universe.
gotcha.
And in the end, they kept some of the Ultimate versions, and the Nick Fury one came over.
Gotcha.
So, but now we move into movies.
Yeah, spoiler alert on this. If you have not seen Spider-Man Far From Home, we're going to
Yeah.
get into some of this. Some of the stuff you were talking about earlier, talking about, the secret invasion.
Yeah.
I think this has a lot leading up to it.
Right. Yeah, I hope. I don't even know. I'm not sold on Secret Invasion being a great storyline.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are talking about Kang the Conqueror being the next big bad,
Yeah.
the next big Thanos. So my guess is if they do Secret Invasion, they're going to only do it as a one shot, which
Well,
I think is going to be.
I don't know because if what's going to carry his TV show, and
Okay,
I mean, they're going to carry
maybe
carrying a TV show because they have to be, and I have a feeling this might end up being Sword.
that's possible. That is possible. And the end of. Do we have a photo of it? When Nick Fury's looking for everybody.
Yeah,
the
he's
end of Far From Home. We have him in space with a bunch of scrolls. So it's possible this is where Sword is going to come in, which we talked a little bit about last week because we talked about the WandaVision show,
yeah.
and it looks like Sword is going to be the people kind of watching out for her.
Yeah, this is where he's looking out on the ship, and I guess it's whatever space station, whatever this is. And of course, all you see, like you said, is Skrull crewmates all over the place.
Right.
And of course, you can tell he's in control. And I love that scene because he's talking to the two Talon,
Yeah.
and I can't remember the lady's name, who's his wife, but they both, one was shaped as Maria Hill, and the other one was him. So throughout
Right.
the whole movie, you're thinking that's them until the very end when they have to
Right.
call him and say, "Okay, well, not everything went so well."
Not everything went so well.
And that was a pretty funny scene. I like that one.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I think this will be it. I think it'll be interesting to see how everything falls out, how it all shakes out. Kang the Conqueror, it doesn't fit into the doesn't fit in well with the Secret Invasion deal.
yeah,
Unless they're really going to rewrite stuff, it's possible this new Nick Fury show on Disney Plus, like you said, could be the Secret Invasion part. But man, it's going to be a lot of it's going to be a high budget television show if we're going to have Nick Fury in space.
yeah,
With
exactly.
scrolls all over the place.
Well, and you think about it, what other figures can come back, because there was a lot of setup in Captain Marvel. There's a lot of setup in that. And then, WandaVision, they had one of the characters who was a little girl in Captain Marvel. There she
Yep,
is.
Monica Rambeau.
So she comes into the same universe, and so all of this, like Sword, we talked about, is kind of like in that particular shot, from a distance, Sword is coming in, kind of like, and that's my guess, and I hadn't say, but that's my guess on that. So coming in and kind of like what Shield was. So
Well, and we've got a lot of people they could bring onto the show.
exactly,
They could bring Maria Hill.
exactly.
Do giant video boards like Mando. Yes, they definitely could. And I bet they will. You know what he's talking about when he said big video boards?
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's for those who are not familiar with filmmaking that much. Back in the old days, I'm talking old days,
Yeah, that was.
they used to have people in front of a movie projection screen that was rear projected
Yeah.
to create some backgrounds. They would do all these weird effects. Well, now we have these massive LED screens,
Oh man,
and they're doing it that way. And
it's impressive.
yes, Star Wars, Disney, they are using it to the hilt.
There is
to
a
create
yeah
backgrounds.
on Disney Plus. There's a documentary series on the Mandalorian, and the other night I watched that part and it was like, oh my goodness,
Yes,
it's just
you
like
thought things were. You just thought things were digital.
yeah.
They're
And
digital, but they're in a whole different realm of digital.
Oh yeah, it's
We're
you
not in
couldn't
front of a blue
yeah.
screen. We're in front of a huge LED
Yeah,
screen.
no green screens there, my friends.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
definitely you can do that to save some money, but it's still going to be a huge effects driven show if we're going to be in space
Yeah,
with squirrels.
yeah, I think so. And I have a feeling like, well, Talos or Talos. I think he could be a part of it
Yep.
because his
If we're going to go with
connection. Yeah,
scrolls anyway, it's definitely could bring him in.
like you
Um,
said. Yeah, like you said, Maria Hill, of course.
yeah, we've got. I mean, we've got some Agents of Shield people who are their television. Those are some affordable actors. Maybe you
Yeah.
could bring Colson on.
Well, now he spoiler alert. He dies,
Well, yeah.
but
Does
you
he
know,
really die again?
but
I mean,
Fury can bring him back from Tahiti.
yeah,
He can
exactly.
bring him back from Tahiti. What's going to
Come
be
back
now?
to
Not Tahiti, but maybe Fuji. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. But he'll bring him back from somewhere.
Right, but there are those other characters from the show that could come back.
Daisy Johnson from
Yep.
that show. Uh, well, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes,
They
that's a question mark. Will they start bringing characters from these other Disney Plus shows over?
I don't see
you've
why.
got
Yeah,
Falcon and Winter Soldier. What else do we have? Well, we've got the WandaVision show.
Yeah.
Will he show up and oversee something that's happening in the WandaVision show? Will we bring the new Monica Rambeau character, the updated version, over?
yeah, exactly.
We've got Jimmy Woo, who can always show up because
Exactly.
he's in the WandaVision show. And we're expecting Darcy Lewis to be on the WandaVision show.
Yes.
So and as part of Sword is our expectation. So definitely she could be part of this show as well. There's
Yeah.
lots of places we could go.
Well, on here, a little note, they say that actually Wu is next scheduled to appear in WandaVision. So, yeah. So, anyway, I could see, although he was working for FBI last time we saw him, he is a former SHIELD agent. And I guess they're saying how he could be recruited within SWORD as well.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think is going to happen? I think this is what it comes down to. I think we've probably exhausted, what we know. What do you feel like is really going to happen?
I think WandaVision is a big containment for Wanda.
Yeah.
I think they've got her contained, either protect her from herself or from others. I think from that you have, a secret invasion might be coming. Maybe SWORD is on Earth because they're becoming more extra. Like originally what they were supposed to be. They were supposed to be an intergalactical, police.
Space Shield.
So, so I find that interesting that Fury is in space.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be in space the whole time, but I think some of the secret invasion may be involved. I think it's going to be a correlation of things. And I think they're going to take pieces of all the different pies. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think everything we mentioned, there's going to be a little bit, because that's why we've been seeing it for the entire Marvel movies. They've just taken bits and pieces of old canon and made their own thing. So I think that's the way they're,
Kyle just mentioned something about maybe a live action X-Men series. That's definitely a possibility. And honestly, I think my guess is the end of WandaVision is going to give us a reason to bring mutants into the universe.
Now, you think it's going to be some of the B actors, B X-Men?
I don't know. I don't know. The story, the House of M comic series, it basically ends with Wanda saying no more mutants. So I'm wondering if they turn this one on their head, and the end of WandaVision is the creation, her giving her powers over to other people, and physically creating a new, a mutant race.
Yeah.
So now we have mutants on Earth, and then we start seeing them pop up in various places. It's going to be, they're going to have to do it's going to be hard to bring them in. After the actor that played Black Panther died, I think the pitch I have made over and over again probably died with him.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think my movie pitch for how to get the mutants into the series, I think it died with him, which makes me very
Makes
sad
me very sad.
because I really wanted that storyline to happen.
I mean, more than it's as sad as the individual passing away, but the character himself, because you can't have somebody play Black
No,
Panther.
no,
I mean, they were wanting to work on the second one.
it will be a revolt
Dude, they're a bunch
if they
of,
just replace him as
I can't
T'Challa.
remember. There's new delays now on the movies, like
Oh,
Black. I
everything!
mean,
It threw
yeah,
everything off.
I think they have more delays again. So I don't even
Yeah,
know far back. I don't know how far back Black Widow is going to be.
yeah. After the first of the year is all we know for sure at this
Yeah.
point. We've got Black Widow delayed. We've got Falcon and Winter Soldier delayed. My
Yeah.
guess is that's delayed because it has spoilers for Black Widow.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But just so yeah, Chadwick Boseman. Sad days. But I think my hope is that they do go with some kind of secret invasion and they let this Nick Fury show take the secret invasion, because I think Secret Invasion is a big enough story for a short series.
Yeah.
I think it's too big of a story for one movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I don't know what that Secret Invasion is going to look like, because they've already jacked up the storyline so much
I know.
that
Unless his whole purpose is doing the space policing version of what Shield was supposed to be, or I mean, of what Sword was supposed to be.
yeah,
I don't know. Or maybe he'll have no connection with Sword. Maybe this is his
yeah,
own, because he's kind of a rogue, you know.
yeah. So here's a theory I'm going to throw
Okay.
out. Here's a theory. We have Nick Fury in space. We have what's his name? I forget his name. Talos. We have Talos pretending to be Nick Fury right now, right?
Yes.
So we have a Nick Fury show. What if Talos is Nick Fury in the show?
You're just
It's
blowing my
not.
mind now.
It's
I
not
don't even.
actually. It's not actually. It's a Nick Fury show, but Nick Fury is not really Nick Fury. He's really Talos in disguise, and that's where we're going.
I don't know about all that. I don't want. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. These roads, for various reasons, they still made it work.
I think that's different.
Yeah,
I don't think Rhodey was not a beloved character the way T'Challa was.
and I think
Yeah,
they replaced him
Boseman,
like after the second. Didn't they replace him at
after the
Iron Man
first one,
2?
he was in
Yeah,
Iron Man 1. He
yeah,
was in Iron Man 1, and he didn't. I mean, he had an okay part, but he wasn't a huge player,
yeah.
you know. So I don't think it's. I get what you're
Yeah.
going with, going for, Jason, but I don't think it works. I don't think it's the same.
I think especially with all the focus on the actual actor.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chadwick Boseman was he had such a following because of who he was.
Yeah,
He had such a following because of of Black Panther, because
yeah,
of
exactly.
what it did. We're talking about James Rhodey, as a secondary actor in a movie where he wasn't the main character. He wasn't even close to the main character. I think it's different.
Well, I think after they did it on the first one, yes, Todd,
We were actually going to
yeah,
mention that, and I had forgotten we were going to mention it
yeah. Actually,
earlier.
I did too.
We talked just briefly about the movie, that all these movies are being delayed. So I'd been reading, Regal
Yeah,
theaters are going to close across the country. AMC says they probably only have about 6 months worth of money left.
now Regal is saying they're just going to shut down for right now.
That's my
that-
understanding.
that's
They're
my
just
understanding.
closing for now,
But
and
AMC
they will reopen once some of the blockbusters are available.
But the other chain, which is
AMC.
AMC, they're talking about just 6 months of money, and they're going to be out of business. Is that?
Possibly they could be reorganized with bankruptcy, but yeah, something bad could happen
I
if
mean,
they don't get some funds.
and and it's not like they're so. I mean, they're so big, they're so expensive. It's not like you can do a like some small places where they'll do a like Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, where
Yeah.
low overhead and people come in, there's a big screen, they have like a revival of it where they,
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
come
Well,
and watch
like
it,
like we talked about a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago where
like
they,
Jaws or
yeah,
something like
Empire
that.
Strikes Back came back over that opening weekend. It made less than $1 million.
Yeah.
The
So,
biggest grossing film that week made 3.4 million.
yeah,
Theaters
exactly.
cannot stay open. Cannot stay
Yeah,
open
they can't.
at that amount.
And that affects our local one, which is
Yeah.
the Moore Theater. I mean, the Warren Theater. So, I don't know. It's really messed up. And that kind of goes back to a conversation we had a couple of months ago about, the whole Mulan being on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And,
And
but
why
if
isn't Black Widow going to do the same thing?
but if this is going to be, if this is going to be the kind of the, if this is going to keep going, let's say it goes on, hopefully not over another year, they're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I am hopeful that the theaters are going to be able to pull it out and, turn something around. I don't know what the future is going to hold for theaters. I don't want to not go to the theaters.
yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
want to
no.
have to stop going to theaters because they don't exist.
exactly.
I can't imagine being a production company. I can't imagine the nightmare if like theaters, like big chains like Regal and AMC
Yeah.
closed and everything became a local theater. A
I
locally
don't know. You
owned
become a
individual
drive-in theater. Maybe you got some,
Now that's a thing
yeah,
that could happen. But I'm saying like if like say our local Regal,
yeah,
it closed as a Regal and somebody bought the building and reopened as an independent theater. If all these major theater chains closed and they all became independent theaters, it would be a nightmare
oh yeah,
for distributors to be
Yeah.
able to contract with each
Yeah.
individual local theater.
a lot of these turned into like what we call dollar theaters, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, where they would get something that would be before it released 6 months on a DVD or something like that.
Yeah.
And so they would get a discounted price. But it's getting to that point where, how you gonna pack in the theaters? I mean, right
Yeah.
now it's just not happening because there's no content, there's no movies, there's nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
There's just not. Yeah. There's not. And the people that have them ready to release are delaying them.
Yeah.
So that's a really it's kind of a 1-2 punch.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's hey, we can't get people in the building.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
The big company is saying, hey, we're not going to let you have our movie until you can get people back in the building.
Yeah, exactly. It's like chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I'm ready to go back to the theater,
Yeah, it's time.
but we shall see.
We'll see. Well, and right now you can get a good seat. So,
Absolutely. Anything
man,
else on Nick Fury tonight?
I can't think of anything else. I just know I look forward to Disney Plus this December. Oh, end of October. I mean, October 30th.
30th, yes,
yes,
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. I
Yes.
saw on that the link that you send me that Disney has this Watch Together feature.
Yeah, this is a new thing. It won't work for what you and I were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's not enough people. If you're not familiar with this, Disney Plus has this new feature called Watch Together, where you and your friends, you can send an invite to a friend of yours to watch a movie on Disney Plus at the same time you watch the movie. So you both have to have signed up for Disney Plus, and then you can watch it together. and somehow communicate back and forth through the app.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
But we have talked about kind of having a watch party of sorts. We're gonna figure out. I'm thinking our Facebook group is probably the place we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
We'll probably have a post in our Facebook group. We'll set a time, and we'll have to check international to see what time it gets released.
Yes.
To see it, because we've got some of our followers in New Zealand, some of our followers in, is it Scotland or Ireland?
I know we have one in New Zealand and we have one in Scotland.
Is it Scotland? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Scotland
or Ireland. I think Todd would know.
Todd, do you remember where Lamont is from? Because I don't think Lamont's with us tonight.
No.
But that we should check times to see if there's any.
He's actually sleeping.
Any way for probably he should be.
Yeah, should be.
See if there's any way for them to watch with us. But we'll all watch together. We'll all make comments on the same post, and we'll just see how that goes. But Ireland, okay.
Ireland, okay.
But thanks, Todd, our Florida man correspondent. Anything else on Nick Fury?
I don't have anything else on Nick Fury now I can think of. Just if you want to join the SAS Nerds group, just when you invite your friends, just remember, have them fill out the questionnaire on there, because we will not let them on if they don't fill it out.
Yeah.
And also too, when you post, also keep in mind that if you're posting some cool stuff from a friend's site who doesn't have, that we're not a friend of, we can't see the post. So just kind of keep that in mind too when you're posting on the SAS group.
Some people have their posts set to friends only, so you might share it in the group and nobody else can see it but you.
Exactly.
But we're trying to make the group better. We try to keep it organized. We try to keep it nice and neat and tidy.
Yes.
But definitely join the group if you haven't already. Invite your friends. We'd love to have them.
Yes.
Anything else, Mike?
I can't. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh man,
let me make that go away.
Really? Oh, please.
Sorry.
Oh, you did.
That was my internet connection. It did that.
That was not your internet connection.
Yes, it was.
That was you just being a horrible, horrible person.
That's right. I think between the technical difficulties and all the these photos and Peep and Poo edition and all this stuff, I think we're kind of at the.
I think we're probably done.
We
are going to work
done.
on our network problems and see if we can figure this out for next week. Well, it's really weird. We haven't had this kind of problem. We've had technical problems before.
Yes.
But not like this.
Yes.
With spray on can.
Exactly. I think on that note, we should take goodbye. Yeah.
This has been the Something About Something podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend, Ricky Bo. I don't know. This this went well tonight.
So bad.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe it'll be better next week.
We hope so. I hope so.